I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Stump The Guru show. It's Ari Galper here. Hope you are doing well. We have most of our followers who listen to these sessions or watch these sessions religiously every single month. Thank you so much for showing up today. If you're live, then you can see me live at the arigalper.com/live page. If you don't know who we are, we focus on trust-based selling. We've been focused on this for the last 25 years. It's been our niche, and we have mastered the art of not chasing leads, not having to do free consulting, free education, all those things that we just do as normal things, but we should not be doing. And this session that we have once a month is really for people to jump on live, ask me a question unprepared, to have me provide them with some insights to help them move their sales process forward without friction. And if you're not part of our community yet, you should join. There's free access at arigalper.com/free. Also, you can download the app on the screen there. It says arigalper.com/app. But we have a large growing community of trust-based business owners, the only one in the world that focuses on the idea of trust. And we do plan on building out a global network of business owners around this concept. We have active members in the community every day posting success stories, tips, ideas. There's different levels you can join, levels of working with me, and different levels below that. So I would encourage you, if you're listening now and not a member, you can join at arigalper.com/free to enter our world. And then we'll take it from there. So welcome, everyone. And we are going to get started. And let me just kind of theme today. So the theme is this idea that following up with people is hurting your business. And I'm going to talk about that because I just did a talk to a group of CEOs yesterday. And they were kind of not boasting, but saying they're very proud of their follow-up system. And they even use the word nurturing, as if like chasing leads is a nurturing process. Nurturing feels very warm and cozy, but it's not. When you're calling somebody to follow up with them or email them again and text them again after the first few meetings and they're ignoring you, that is not nurturing. That is breaking trust and burning trust. And for so many years, we've been taught that a follow-up system is required to chase people down, to finally get to them to say yes. And that used to work, I don't know, pre-COVID, when people were comfortable with a follow-up call, an email call, and they were actually available and they wrote you back. But if you have a CRM system, or if you think your opportunity is sitting inside your follow-up process, you're in for a rude awakening. Now, you might get a few people who might come back to you, but the most will ignore you, because the minute you start following up with somebody, they feel like they're being chased and you're lowering your positioning. And so your goal is to compress your sales cycle. So in the first meeting, they trust you enough to schedule with you on your calendar for a next step. If your process does not allow them to do that, and they're saying, do you want to think about it? I'm not ready yet. And then you say, no problem, I'll follow up with you or send you a quote. You have a hole in your sales funnel. And it gets bigger every single day because of technology. People are being overwhelmed with multiple contacts coming inbound. And if anything, they're shutting things down. And the last thing you want to do is trying to win this war in the inbox. So your goal is to learn what I call the one-call sale, which we have inside our community in our coaching program. You can learn about that, where we coach folks on how to build enough trust with somebody in one single meeting so they get a commitment to a next step on their calendar. And if the person is not qualified or not serious about their problem, you just let them go or drop them into a system. You don't have to worry about them anymore. Let the automation go on its own. But they're lost if they're gone from the first meeting in most cases, unless they're on your calendar. So you have to ask yourself, what can you do to avoid the follow-up process? Now, here's some tips for you if you are in the follow-up process and you haven't transitioned yet to our world, okay? So what you can do, first of all, is one, never use the word follow-up ever again as of today. That is a bad word to use. Why? Because when you call somebody and say, I'm calling to follow up, that sends a message. You're trying to move them forward. Follow-up is a sales word. You should not be using language that is not trust-based. So here's what you say instead. I'm giving you a call to see if you have any feedback on our previous conversation, any feedback on our last meeting, any feedback on our previous conversation, any feedback on proposal or the plan. Feedback is going away from the sale. It's going back to the problem. Don't use any phrases like touching base, follow up, or what's the other one people always use? Let's connect, or circle back. I don't know. These are all classic 1980s phrases that just turn people off and clearly designate you as a, quote, the negative salesperson stereotype. Your perception and authority and self-image should be of a doctor who's helping a patient, not a salesperson chasing a lead, okay? That is a mindset shift. And in this day and age of commoditization, where you're being shopped against somebody else, if you're using the traditional sales process that I'm talking about today, and you're just doing what everyone else does, chasing more leads, playing the numbers game, you will get zero connection in most cases, because that model of selling has been commoditized in itself. So you have to differentiate. You have to change your approach. You have to, yes, I hate to use the word, you have to learn a different way of thinking. I know AI has replaced learning because you have all your answers there. But as human beings, the only way to win this game against AI and trust is for us as humans, guess what? To learn how to get better trust building with other humans, okay? That's the missing gap, I believe, between the AI world and the human world, which is our ability to learn how to build trust with other humans, not with AI, okay? So that's the missing component. I wrote a book about this, by the way. It's called The Rise of AI and the Decline of Trust, okay? So this is an important gap that is a skill set everybody in business, every business owner should be learning like right now before installing their AI systems, to learn how to build trust in their sales process and their business, to become what I call a trust-based business. And this is not a priority for you. You need to make it a priority for yourself as fast as possible. So there's some insights for you, some thoughts to think about, some food for thought as we open up the lines here to see who's around to ask a question for me. And we'll kind of just dive in, and we'll use this trust-based approach as a perspective to try and solve as many problems as possible. So if you're interested in direct consulting or coaching with us, just get my free book at thetrustbook.com, and you can simply order the book. It goes in the mail to you physically, and there's an opportunity to schedule a time with either myself or one of my coaches to work with you or have a chat with you about your situation. Those are for folks who want to solve the problem quickly. If you want to learn your way through this, then join our community at arigalper.com/free and get involved. There's different levels there you can get involved with, but just getting inside our world in itself, in our ecosystem, through osmosis, hopefully you'll be able to understand and learn that this is the way for success in the future for if you're selling something. But if you're selling the old model, you're feeling the pain right now. I'm sure you are. Most folks are who come our way. So on that note, Steve, how are we looking back there?
All righty, we're looking good. I would just like to first apologize to the city of Cleveland for what happened to you last night. As a city, you have failed, and New York is going to dominate you in this basketball series. I just had to say it. You know, I don't have my orange because I gave it to my kid's principal. But we've got Matt Dillingham. I'm going to bring Matt on. He's laughing already. I hope he's a Knicks fan. Man, I hope you're not from Cleveland, Matt.
Nah, I'm in Virginia. I don't follow basketball. I'm more soccer and UFC. So
all right, so you're not you have no horse in it, but you watched that 7-second beatdown of Gina and Rhonda then over the weekend. But boy,
I watched the replay. I was pretty good. I was like, well, that didn't last that long. I was like, all right, but hey, it is what it is.
If just one sneeze and you miss the entire fight.
Pretty much. Pretty
rough. All right, so since you haven't been on before, if you could let everybody know who you are, a little bit about yourself and your business, and then your question for Ari.
I've been on before. It's been a minute, but my name is Matt Dillingham. I'm the owner of Intuitive Advising, and we offer credit repair, business credit, and coaching. So that's who I am.
Got it. Okay, so fill me in on your kind of. So you do coaching on how to repair people's credit, is that right? And a service around that?
It's more so to fix the root cause of what got you there in the first place on the personal side, and for business, that's different. So as I joke, the credit repair is the gateway drug into the coaching aspect. If you're ready.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
All right. So pre and post. Got it.
Yeah. So I met with a prospect. I was a vendor at a baby expo 2 weeks ago, and she expressed interest in credit repair. I have her number and follow up with her the week following. Sure. And she said, "Hey, now's like a time. Contact me on the 19th. That was yesterday." Said, reached out to her yesterday, and she said, "And follow with me next week." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm not going to do this again." So, what would be a good thing to say? Like, look, just just end it and say, "I'm gonna let you be. If you need me, I'm gonna move on from here." So,
all right. First of all, let's go back to the beginning and figure out how you got here.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll see what we can do on the back end of this thing.
Yes.
So let me get this right. You met her at a show of some sort. She, assuming you were at a booth of some sort, right?
Yes. Came up to the booth.
She came to the booth. You had a quick chat. She said, "I'm interested in this," and you said, and you probably collected her details, I assume, and then you said to her, "Great, I'll follow up with you, and we'll talk then." Is that something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is for you is, how come you didn't schedule her on your calendar at the booth?
Did not cross my mind.
Okay. This is the source of your problem.
Okay.
Right. So you're so conditioned to assume a lead, and the next step is a next follow-up. That's how you've been wired. So your brain goes, "Oh, great, I got a lead. Awesome. I'll follow up with them." See, for you, that's your conditioning as a normal behavior. See, for us, that's abnormal. You should never do that.
Right.
You had them at the first conversation. They're the most interested. That was the moment of the peak when their brain was focused on the problem and they wanted to help. That was the exact moment you, as the doctor, should schedule them on your calendar. So you might say, she says, "Yeah, I'm interested in this coaching, and I'd like to talk about it." You say, "No problem. No problem. Well, why don't we schedule a time right now? I got my calendar right here, my laptop, and let's schedule a time. And then you can bring along your situation, your challenges, and I can kind of diagnose what's going on and give you some, here's the key word, insights, not information, some insights on how to help you with this." Would that be okay with you, Julie? Would you be open to that? Now, obviously, if they're legit, they're not going to say no.
Correct.
She sounded like she was legit.
Yes.
But your process did not allow her to schedule on your calendar. She dropped in the black hole, and now you got stuck chasing her. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is you have one moment of, everyone who's listening to this has one moment of time when your lead or prospect is the most focused on the problem. And that is the first meeting or the first contact, first conversation. So in your case, the first conversation was at the booth. And a lot of other people's cases, it's on a Zoom call, wherever it starts. That's the moment it all has to happen. So Fricks number one, schedule them on the spot. So there is no more follow-up at all in your world. Follow-up like goes away forever.
Okay.
And then you work off what I call a calendar relationship with these clients or these people. You work by appointment only. That's like your model. Like a doctor, you can say it.
Yeah.
I only work by appointment only. I just don't follow people. I'm sorry. I don't take people.
Right.
I'm kind of like a doctor, I only work because I'm busy and I work by appointment. I'm gonna give you some languaging here and permission for you to break out of your box you're in the sales mode thing to say to people, you know what? And when you do that with people, they respect that.
Right.
They go, wow, he's not going to chase me? Yeah, okay. I'm game. Let's give this a try. Because nobody wants to be chased.
Right.
Nobody. And you can say it to people. You can say, I just don't chase folks. I'm sorry. It's not what I do. I'm a trust builder. And we work by appointment only people who are serious. So if you want to have some insight. So anyways, that's how you solve the problem for not happening ever again. All right.
Got it. Now, thank you.
Here's what you can do with her on the back end, if anything, is I would send her what I call the apology email. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, it's in your book.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. So one of my books there, but I'll for the audience who's listening or watching, I'll provide the context. So clearly you chasing her is not working because somehow she feels pursued by you, right? You're putting energy on her and she's saying, I don't want to be pursued. So you have to reverse it and send her a message which could be true, and fall on your sword and say, hi, Julie, it's, whatever here. And I'm just writing you, not, here's the key phrase, not to move things forward. And their brain goes, oh, they're going to stop chasing me now?
Mm.
I'm just writing you to apologize, because maybe I didn't provide you with what you needed when we met at the show. I should have offered you the opportunity to have a chat then. I should have given you some information then. Maybe I did something wrong. You blame yourself,
right?
Not them, because clearly you did something wrong. You're just being honest with her, and you just say, "Look, I'm just writing you for some feedback." That's the key word, for some feedback, for how I could have improved or done a better job when I met you to build more trust.
Right.
I love your thoughts and feedback. That's how people will improve in the future. Would you be open to that? That's the email that goes out. Okay. That humanizes you. It gets you out of the sales stereotype that people hate to get from a show like that being chased. Mm-hmm. And you might get to the truth. When I used to do live events, seminars, I used to have all the attendees bring their laptops with them. And at lunchtime, I had them all send this one email out to all the people they're chasing. We got back for lunch, they opened the laptop. It was so many responses in their inbox, like within 15 minutes. And you know what they usually said? They usually said, oh, no. It's not you. It's
the real issue. What's going on? I sent a text to a couple people, an email. I got one person respond. I found out what happened. I went, oh, wow. I had no idea. It's like, thank you. But it does work. So
yeah. Your goal is the truth, my friend, not the sale.
Yep.
So focus on that trust building, okay?
Will do.
All right, be well.
All right,
Come on back again. Okay, no worries. So we're back here with the Stump the Guru show. And as you're hearing, there's a lot of folks who are still in that loop, that continuous loop of having a contact, maybe a conversation, then following up and chasing, and now stuck in a black hole. And just so you know, every day that goes by, those leads get colder and colder and colder and colder, and the odds of converting them go lower and lower and lower and lower. That's what I call the path of most resistance. Your job is to compress that sales cycle, bring it forward, and not, I know it sounds kind of strange, not do any sales activities that connect you to the stereotype of selling. Selling in itself has been commoditized as we know it. And if you find yourself falling into those behavior patterns, like doing free consulting, educating people, relationship building up front without trust building, a rapport that can appear to be fake, you're in trouble. And you have to upgrade your skill set to learn how to build trust with people and not sell to people. If trust is a different concept and different skill set, is not being taught anywhere. No universities teach this. No courses outside our walls teach this in our way. And so I'd encourage you to reach out and ask for help. Don't be afraid, because you have to shift to where the market's at right now. And that is we're now in a commoditized market, and everyone's being shopped. And if you're just selling like everybody else, you know that leads. All right, Steve. So who else is back there today?
All righty. So we have people back here that aren't going to be coming on after talking to them. Some are not ready. Some just don't, it's all good. But I'm going to bring Sam on because, hey, Sam, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Steve. How you going?
Doing all right.
Hey, Ari, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, I got a bit of an exercise, and I'm going to encourage all the viewers, the business owners, to do. And this is straight fresh off something I experienced with a client recently. Had a client, much like what you're saying, engaged in a lot of follow-up, a lot of processing. And I said to the client, I said, how much time do you spend doing all the follow-ups? Tell me about it, right? And he went through, told me all about it. Not to mention all the dead calls, all the people that don't respond, let alone the conversations he has, all the time that's involved around that. And then I said to him, think carefully about your business and tell me, how many actual sales do you get from all that activity? And he thought about it, and he thought, you know what? Next to nothing. It really rarely happens. So when you look at that equation, the sale, yeah, look, you're going to get some occasionally, of course, things happen, right? I mean, that's, it's just numbers. But when you think about the return that you get from a sale compared to all of that activity multiplied by your salespeople consistently all day, every day, it's a pretty unbalanced equation. And when he saw that, he realized that because time's your most valuable asset, time is where you get the most amount of return. He's now diverted that to better lead generation activities to target his qualified people, more targeting, less like a funnel and more like a cylinder, and is enjoying not only greater success, but a lot more peace of mind and a lot less bandwidth on things that go nowhere. So I just, listening to you talk about that, I thought that's a good exercise for everybody to just be honest with yourself and have a think.
Well, here's the thing, Sam. Every business owner is wired to view their sales process as a funnel, where it's wide at the top, narrows to the middle, and narrows the bottom. So the top, what they're doing is putting as much as they can at the top, social media, podcast, leads, whatever. And then they spend all their time and money in the middle of this process, chasing, qualifying, following up. Now, at the bottom, a few marbles might come out, right? Like, yeah. I did hear someone say to me, well, Ari, after 2 years, I finally got the sale, so it's worth chasing somebody. Well, after 2 years, you've lost probably 90% of what you could have made if you would focus on not the chasing process, but the trust-based process. And I think you're right. I think it's a hidden, expensive cost to have a business owner or a sales team spend any time at all in a chasing process, trying to get a hold of people as if that's the norm. See, the irony of the whole thing is most heads of sales or business owners assume a sales team's job, their time should be spent pursuing leads. No, their job should be spent face-to-face or on Zoom or on Teams converting leads as a new client, not chasing them. And replacing the chasing process with AI or some CRM system does not solve the problem either. There should be no chasing. You need to introduce your team and yourself to the concept of what I call the one-call sale, compressing cycle. I don't mean a signed contract. I mean a commitment on the first meeting to a next step in your process. So they stay on your counter, not off your counter. But I appreciate that exercise. I think it's important that everybody finally admit to themselves that the middle of the funnel piece, chasing opportunities, is the worst place to be because that's where all your time, expense, and money is lost.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other illusion that people have is they have a conversation and they think, oh, what a great conversation, but they didn't get the sale, they didn't go on the calendar, they didn't go the next step, they didn't commit to your process. They fall off. And people think to themselves, but that's okay. They're going to enter my nurturing system, as you said. Oh, we've got a process to handle all the follow-ups. And they give themselves this illusion of relief, thinking, oh, it's okay still. Guess what? It's not okay. All right. It's not.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And Sam, I got someone else coming in now. Let's get one more guest, and then I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, Sam. I know you're busy. No. All right. So, Steve, we have one more person back there.
Yep, I'm going to bring Ryan on. Ryan just popped in. Hey, Ryan, how are you today? Oh, your mic's not on.
Oh, yeah, the sound.
There we go.
Screen up here, I'm getting some echo. I'm not quite sure how to.
No problem. So, so maybe Ryan, let us know kind of what you do and what your challenge might be.
Sure. I'm a financial advisor, financial planner, and I have the opportunity to work with a Christian denomination of pastors, and we have an association.
Can you come a bit closer to the mic? It's kind of cutting out. I'm not sure why.
Sorry. Okay. If you were watching it live at arigalper.com/live and then entered StreamYard, you want to close the live window from Ari Galper because you'll have that playing at the same time that you're live here in the studio.
Oh,
so that should help fix things.
Yeah, that's right. It might be a tech issue if you have both windows open. So just close the Ari Live screen, and then you'll be inside the show, so to speak.
Great.
There we go.
Okay.
Nice.
I was getting some echo. So I work with a group of pastors, and so I've had several conversations recently where these are people leading denominations where they ask us to come in and help work with their individuals in their churches or their pastors because they're an underserved area. And I've had several conversations recently where they have said, "Oh, this is great. We really need you. We need to set something up. We schedule a meeting. The meeting for whatever reason doesn't happen, and now I feel like I'm chasing them to get them back on the calendar and trying to figure out how to best phrase this to get the best response." And I've sent a couple messages over the past couple days, and these are people that said, "We are so glad to connect with you, and that we really need your help." And so I've been listening to you off and on for a year or so, and read a couple books, and was just looking forward to being on this call today to ask some questions.
I appreciate you coming on. I really do. So let me go back a couple steps. So you had a physical meeting with them? Is that the pastor in charge, or what? What was the last conversation you had with them?
It was about 2 weeks ago. We had a meeting with two different. One was a bishop. One was the finance director for a group of churches.
Gotcha.
And so we have a guaranteed issue policy for the association, and then group benefits plans for pastors that they really don't have anything.
No, it's great. And it was left with the idea that we schedule you presenting. Is that what the next step was, to present something?
We left with, we've scheduled a follow-up meeting. Well, we scheduled a meeting to discuss, okay, here are next steps. And I've been using words like, well, I said, would it make sense for us to check in a week or so to reconnect and answer any questions?
So hold on a second. Did you schedule a meeting with them, yes or no, from the first meeting on your calendar?
Yes.
Oh, you had a scheduled. So you sat there, let's schedule together, and we'll meet again on Wednesday, whatever, 4:00, whatever it was, right?
Yes.
So did they not show up, or what happened?
It was both these meetings they didn't show, and they did get a response finally. Oh, I was traveling today unexpectedly.
Oh.
And then let's reconnect. How's the schedule over the next couple of weeks? And that's
okay. So I got it. So they committed to you. The chemistry was great, but they didn't show up to your scheduled meeting.
Yeah.
How many days apart was the next meeting?
It was within a week. We had a schedule within a week.
Okay.
And so I've got apologies saying, "Oh man, we weren't able to meet." And then when here's some times and dates, and this is after very much a lot of interest in excitement about the conversation.
Yeah, I know. They always give you the hopium drug, kind of pretend it's all going to be made. We're so excited to have you with us. But do you have an assistant of some sort that can work with you? What I'm suggesting to you is you need to implement having an assistant who calls them before the second meeting to remind them of the meeting they have committed to with the doctor. You're the doctor, they're the patient. I think you're missing that piece there, because then either they would have caught the change of date, or they would have been, oh yeah, you're right. They remembers how serious that commitment was for them. So that's one piece that could prevent this from happening again, is to have an assistant, so to speak, call the key people and say, just want to confirm 2:00 on Friday, you're meeting with Ryan, and want to make sure you be on time. And there's a lot of weight with that. We have a team that does that for us, and people kind of like go, oh, right, thanks for the reminder. Almost like, because what happens is, Ryan, in the first meeting, the chemistry is incredible. It's like fireworks everywhere. So you leave feeling like, oh my God, this was amazing. They leave when you left, they forgot about you. Nothing personal. They don't feel like it was amazing. They just leave the next task they have to do. So you're hoping and waiting and excitement, and they've already forgotten about you. Not a personal thing. It's just the way it works. So you need someone on your team to call, not email, but to call them, to remind them of the voice connection of the seriousness of the next commitment. Okay, that's just one fix to prevent this from happening again. It helps us a lot. It might help you as well. Now,
yeah, that's great.
So now the next step is you're trying to get them to circle back and schedule again. And they said to you, what again? What was the last comment from them?
I'm sorry,
what was the last message from them?
Oh, It was yesterday on one of them, and it was. He said, "I know you're very busy." Oh, let's see. So sorry, Ryan. Yes, need to reschedule. I know you're very busy. Are there times and dates that would work for you better for you? And but I've had no response.
All right. Do you have someone who can call on your behalf? Here's what I want to do. Scheduling is below your pay grade, Ryan. Mm-hmm. You should not be an administration assistant scheduling with emails. Like, that's as low as your profile and your positioning. You need to. This is the issue. You need someone in the role to play the tennis game, to do the connection for you, to schedule a meeting with you, the doctor. The doctor is busy with the patients. Now you're the front desk all of a sudden. Your role is shifting. And now they treat you like that. Did you see what I'm trying to say, the positioning there?
Yeah.
So I would stop replying. Go find preferably a friendly person who can work with you and call on your behalf. Like, pick up the phone and call them and say, "Hi, I work with Ryan in his office here. He's quite busy. I'm trying to find a schedule to find some time for him to talk to you. Can we quickly have a quick discussion about what's a good time, and I'll get you locked in?"
Okay, that's great.
Because clearly you doing this is not working.
Yes, I'm handling everything rather than delegating.
Correct. Your job is to position yourself as the doctor who's busy with patients. You don't do admin work. That's not your job. Scheduling, emailing, times and dates, not showing up, following up should not be your job. Visibly.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense.
It's easy to get caught up in that because we think we have a, quote, relationship with them. Somehow we connected, so they're going to work with us. Clearly, they're not. What happens is you drop down their priority list real quick after a couple days. Yeah. They almost forgot about the first conversation because it's not you. It's just the priorities are always adjusting all the time, and then people's lives are frazzled with the world and texts and social media. So people's brains, unfortunately, aren't like they used to be, where they actually remember the previous meeting. They actually forget about that. Now, you and I, the sellers, remember it like it was like 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
Oh, it was a great meeting. It was awesome. They're really excited. Why are they not contacting me? So what I'm trying to say is put yourself in their shoes and implement a process that keeps them alive and viewing you as somebody who's more busy than them.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Awesome. So try that and come back and let us know how that goes, okay?
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks for coming on. All right. Well, that ends our Stump the Guru show today. We had a bit over time. But I think the theme of following up and chasing, as you heard today, is so critical for everyone to avoid this process. And if you want to learn more, join our community for free at arigalper.com/free to start, or come directly to us at the trustbook.com. Order my book. Get engaged, get involved, and don't be afraid to learn something new, because it might be that right under your nose you're doing certain things and not realizing it, losing you the sale. On the note, we'll say goodbye for now. Thanks for everybody coming in, and we'll talk soon. This will be now a podcast on Spotify and all the channels to listen to, and we'll be in touch soon. Take care, everybody. Signing off.
I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.